Starting your text with the word Shrops. Tell me the story of your tattoo. Tell me the story of your tattoo. 01743 248321. Email jim.hawkins@bbc.co.uk. Teresa says, I had my tattoo for my 50th year just to say I'm not past it yet. Why is that stuck in my mind? Because I'm going to be 50 in a few weeks' time. Makes you think. Well, makes me think. Matty says, I'd love a tattoo, a small one, of a dolphin on my arm, but I lack the bravery to go. Jude says, I've only got one tattoo. I had it on my first holiday with my husband. It's not a sensible thing. I didn't even know the tattooist, but it turned out he was an ex-nurse and a brilliant artist. I think I'd worry about anyone who told you they used to be a nurse. I now have Tigger on my right shoulder blade, and I love it. Andy says, my two tattoos are music-related. Music is my life. I cannot see me wanting them removed ever. Well, I hope not. Abby is in Numbers, near Donington. Morning, Abby.
Morning, you're right.
Hello, Abby. I'm fine. Tell me the story of your ink. How many tattoos, and what are the stories behind them?
Okay, well, I've got 10 at the moment.
10 at the moment?
Yeah, they're all in various places, but I started getting them when I was only 17, which is a bit naughty. But I've got them for various reasons, but it links all to family, and then it links to what I do as a person. So for me, they're all very important to me, and I wouldn't be without them.
Which was the first one you got?
The very first one I got was, I think about a month after my dad had died. I was only 17 when he died, and I just got Daddy's Girl written on my wrist, which to me was quite poignant, and it's the one that I would never ever cover up or remove, ever.
Which was the next one?
And then I got some bows on the back of my ankles, which look very cute, I think, but I got one for my mum and one for my little sister because they kept me grounded. I was in a bad time of life, and they were the only people who kind of made me think sensibly about life.
Have you? So it seems like from what you're saying, from what you're talking about your first few, they were to do with quite profound emotional moments in your life. Is that true for all of them, or have you got some any just for the fun of it?
No, I think they've all got reasons behind them. I've got one on my chest that's been covered up, but the reason behind it initially was there. But I think now as I'm getting older and I realise that I just love tattoos, the more I get are going to be a little less with emotional attachment, if that makes sense.
So you're going to go for more ones just because for artistic or aesthetic reasons, if you like?
Well, I'm starting a project this year with a company called Girls with Ink, and we're going to follow the process of getting a tattoo and working with a female tattooist. So it's going to be going through that and discovering other people's stories, really.
Oh, hang on. Tell me about Girls with Ink.
Girls with Ink is a Facebook page that was set up by a lady called Kelly and a chap called Russell. And it's basically just an appreciation of women all across the world who are covered in ink. And obviously it's attracted quite a lot of attention. And this year they're hoping to start filming, and I'm going to be involved with that side of things. So it's just an appreciation of the artists, and everything in between, really.
The tattoos, are they for you or for anyone else, or how do you view them from that point of view?
For me, I do everything for myself, but I do like the look of tattoos. I think girls who have got a lot of really nice ink look lovely. The same with men. I think I love men with tattoos. There's just something about them, I think, to some people, but I understand that for other people, they just don't like them and they don't understand them.
Is it age-related? Do they look better on some ages than others? Do they look better on some people? Can some people carry this off better than others, if you like?
Oh, I don't know. I'd have to argue on that one. Because I've been to tattoo conventions and you just see a whole different spectrum of ages and things like that. And I think they look great on everybody. Obviously, if it's bad art, it doesn't look good. I'm going to say that.
Which raises the question, of course, of when you're sitting there for some hours, it can take, you don't know how it's going to turn out. You have to have a lot of faith in the person that's doing it.
You really need to research the artist. There are some bad ones. Who charge not very much money and they do offers. That's when you need to start thinking, oh, why are they so cheap? The ones who are costing a lot of money and have waiting lists, even though you might not want to wait 3 months to go and book in with somebody, it's worth it because you know that for a reason they're booked up.
Yes. So if you can get in straight away, then that might be a bit of a warning.
Yeah, I'd say, well, 9 times out of 10 maybe, but sometimes maybe they just have got a cancellation. It's just all about research.
What about Emma, who we heard from earlier on, who said when she was 19 and 21, she thought she was choosing wisely. She's now 29, and if she could go back and, as she puts it, show the results and explain how much her tastes would change, she wouldn't have had them done at all.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I do understand. Because I got one when I was 17 that I've consequently had covered.
Yeah.
Because it was quite immature and a bit daft. But I think the way that you start thinking at that age, you just have to realise that you are going to be stuck with it. And your tastes do change, don't they? Everything in your life changes, and you might think, oh, I wish I hadn't had that done. And my worry is wedding dresses. And my grandparents are going to want to see me in a wedding dress covered in tattoos, if I ever get married, of course that is.
How are you going to feel about that?
I don't know. I really don't know, because on my 18th birthday I had to cover a lot up. Sorry, Nan. Sorry, Grandad. And I had to cover them up, and I was quite conscious of it.
Are your Nan and Granddad listening to this now and thinking, hang on, that's Abby?
I live in York, so hopefully...
All right, okay, fair enough.
But yeah...
Do they know about your tattoos, they've just never seen them, or do they not know and you don't want to shock them?
I think they do know, but they just haven't brought it up. Because I don't know how they'd react to it. It was different with my mum. My mum wasn't very happy. We worked in the same office, and she didn't know about a few of them for about 6 months. So, sorry, Mum.
And then suddenly, you wear a short sleeve top, and it's summer, and the next thing you know, they're having a mother-daughter conversation in the office.
In the office, in front of all of our colleagues. Yeah, that's the one.
Well, that certainly would have livened the day. I mean,
it's always a lively day when I'm around.
What? Tell me about the process of deciding a one. Do you think is it a long drawn out thing? Do you have the idea, or do you have the reason of why you want the tattoo, and then do you find the design, and then it takes ages, or do you act quite suddenly on it?
I do act quite suddenly on it. A lot of them I have been thinking about, because I want to get some portrait work started, and obviously I've had to consider who do I want to carry through with me on the rest of my life. I'm a big Johnny Cash fan, I always have been, so I want something in tribute to Johnny Cash. So I might like something now, but I might not like it in 10 years, so I feel that I have to really start thinking very seriously about what I want to put on me.
Yeah.
But it's all about what I'm feeling at the time, I think, more than anything.
So your tattooist isn't going to learn how to spell. Have to learn how to spell Justin Bieber anytime.
Oh no, never.
You mentioned work. You worked in the same office as your mum. Is it an issue for what prospective employers might think, or if they might have a policy on it, or whatever?
Well, luckily I work for myself the majority of the time, but I was waiting to find another job after I left the job centre for 18 months. And the first interview I went to, which consequently I got the job for, which I'm very happy at now, I found myself covering absolutely everything up. And I don't think they realised straight away that I had tattoos. But since, they've seen them, but I do cover up because I work for a big brand. So I make sure that I'm covered up as much as possible, because obviously some people don't like them. We had an incident at work the other day with a chap who thought that because I had tattoos and because of what I do outside of work, that I was into a completely different area of well, I won't say it on here, but yeah, he thought that I was into something very different. So people just have different reactions to them, don't they? So I just try to cover up at work.
Okay. I'm curious, but I'm not going to ask. Incidentally, Jude, whilst listening to you, has already found Girls with Ink on Facebook and has had liked the page. So
brilliant.
There's more pursuit on that. And do tell us more about Girls with Ink as it progresses. I'd be interested in finding out more about that.
Yeah, I will do.
Cheers, Abby. Good to talk to you.
Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot. Thank you. Bye-bye. That's Abby from the Humberst at Donington in Telford. She has 10 tattoos so far. They have emotional significance for her. Each of them tells a kind of a different story. And she's also part of this Girls with Ink